All right, my friends, hello and welcome back. So this video, we will continue with our hyperparameter adjustment right from where we left off. So I'm going to get started here just as if we never took a break. So we've completed the last grid search CV process, and now we're at this stage where we can actually see the best parameters. So we're going to continue with the following suggestion, going back to what ChatGPT says, evaluate results. Compare the performance of different hyperparameter combinations based on the selected performance metric. Identify the combination that yields the best performance on the validation or cross-validation set. So yeah, we actually did this step above. We found the best parameters with proper cross-validation, but we're going to see these studies in the next stage. Now, before we get down into the codes, let's just transfer this part over to our notebook. So I'm going to get it from here, copy and open a cell in Markdown format over on the right and paste it all in, and we can run the code. Yeah, so now let's get down into our codes. See, guys, there's going to be two variables in here, best params and best model. So I'm going to take the best params code to find the best parameters and paste it into the cell on the right. Okay, now some of you might be asking before you even say it, you're going to be asking, why didn't we get the best model? Well, my friends, the best model is creating a model according to suitable parameters. So don't worry or don't get too upset. We're going to do that later. Right now, I want to examine the code for the best model. So first, we created the variable, and then we called the grid search variable. Then we applied the best params function. This will show the best parameters, okay? Yeah, all of this code is in the best params variable. So let's print this variable. And I can just do this manually. See, I'm writing here, print best params. Okay, now everything's ready. Let's run the code. So as you can see, the best parameters and values that the grid search CV found are right in front of us. It's at the value of 0.1 for the C parameter, L1 for the penalty parameter, and live linear for the solver parameter. Okay, so we have seen this phase as well, right? Why don't we just examine the next step? So yes, we are at step number 7. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say. Validate on test set. After selecting the best hyperparameters based on the validation set, evaluate the final model's performance on a separate test set. This step provides an unbiased estimate of how well your tuned model will perform on new unseen data. Okay, so yeah, in this context, we're going to build a new model according to the best parameters and then test that model. So now let's transfer this suggestion information into our notebook. See how I copy it from here, open up a cell in Markdown format over on the right, and paste it in. We can run the code now. And now let's go back and check it out. So here is the best model variable. We're going to grab that first and copy it and paste it into a cell. So my friends, it created a new logistic regression model based on the parameters that we just found here, right? So the best estimator is the function that helps to do this. So let's run the code. And now, my friends, it is time to predict. So see, the model created here is being tested. So I can take this code and paste it into a cell on the right. And it created a new variable, ypred. Then it called the model and applied the predict function to it. And then finally, it placed the X test inside the function. So the model predicted according to the test data. Okay, so we're going to run that code. Now let's review the next step. So I'm going up here and look at this. We're on the last step. What does ChatGPT say? Refine and repeat. If the performance of the tuned model is not satisfactory, you can further refine your search by adjusting the search space, trying different hyperparameters, or considering more advanced techniques like Bayesian optimization or gradient-based optimization methods. Well, that sounds like good advice. So we're going to transfer this information to the notebook. So I'm going to take it from here, open up a cell in Markdown format over on the right, and paste it all in and rerun the code. All right, so according to this step, we'll now test the model's performance. And if we don't get a good result, we can always improve the arrangement according to the techniques suggested to us. Okay, I'm going down to the codes, and as you can see here, all the metrics are calculated, and then they're all printed. So first, I want to transfer the calculation part to the notebook. And see here, I'm taking the codes and pasting them into the cell over on the right. Now, my friends, hopefully you can see calculations were made according to the 5 different metrics. I'm not going to get into this topic, though, since I explained what these metrics mean and how they're calculated earlier. So I'm just going to run the code directly. Okay, so now you can see the metrics were calculated, and we can actually see the result. And here are the print codes below. Now, if you noticed, it also printed the best hyperparameters variable. Not going to take this part because we already looked at it above. And I'm just taking the title here and copy it and paste it into the cell on the right. Okay. So now I'm going to return to the left side, take the metrics written in the print function, and paste all that into the cell on the right. Okay, so now all that's ready, we can run the code. Oh boy, yeah, see, so this is great, right? Now, there is an increase in evaluation metrics overall. So now let's examine them in order. And my friends, after choosing the best parameters with Grid Search CV, the accuracy value has increased from 0.78 to 0.80. That is a super development. I mean, seriously, we transfer the accuracy of the model by 2 points. So I want to continue. What was the previous precision value? It was 0.68, right? We'll see the hyperparameter increased to 0.72 after our adjustments. There's an increase of exactly 4 points. So continuing on, there is a recall next, and the recall value was 0.81 before, and after our adjusting, it decreased to 0.78. And there's been some decline here, but the model selection in the latest AUC ROC will be clearly evident. So we're continuing. The F1 score metric increased from 0.74 to 0.75. Now, you remember, right? The F1 score was a harmonic average of precision and recall values. So from here, we can see that the model's performance has increased, and significantly. So finally, we'll look at the AUC ROC value, and I think this is one of the most critical metrics, because in general, when comparing more than one model, the model with the best AUC ROC is preferred. So what was that last metric? It is 0.78. Well, check it out. It's now increased to about 80% after the hyperparameter adjustment. So this is extraordinary. This is what we want, right? So in summary, the quality of our machine learning model has increased after the parameter adjustment made by ChatGPT. So that's why we can use this model now with peace of mind without doing anything extra. Okay, so we're going to wrap it up now. But before we finish, I do want to check to see if there's any section that we still need to examine from those answers given to us by ChatGPT. So what I'll do is, I want to check the bottom of these codes. Okay, you see this, my friends? Here are the detailed explanations of the above codes. So we can always read what it means from the code here. And since we've explained just about everything here, we're going to skip this part. And anybody who wants to pause the video and have a look, you can go ahead and do that. But I'm just going to go back up here. And at the bottom of the hyperparameter tuning steps, there is some text here explaining the whole answer. Now, since we've already done a detailed review, I'm just going to skip that. And let's go up to the top. And everything is present here. So we have reviewed all the answers. I'll go up a little higher. Okay, so here is where we didn't review. What is this? So while some of you were examining the steps of machine learning modeling in general, we were examining the eighth step, right? So what does it say about the last two steps? So we're going to quickly look it over and then we're going to wrap it up, I promise. All right, so the next step after the hyperparameter adjustment is finished, predict new data. So yeah, ChatGPT says, once you're satisfied with your model's performance, you can use it to make predictions on new unseen data by applying the trained logistic regression model to the new data set. Now, aren't we currently happy with the final version of our model? Yeah. So that means in the next step, any of you who want to use this machine learning model can give the machine the data it has not seen before and make it guess. Yeah. So now let's examine the 10th step. ChatGPT says, interpret the results. Interpret the coefficients of the logistic regression model to understand the relationships between the independent variables and the target variable. These coefficients can provide insights into the importance and direction of each feature's impact on the prediction. Yeah, so we made our evaluations according to the metrics. So what that means is any of you friends can ask ChatGPT how the coefficients for dependent and independent variables were after the model was created. So this process aims to determine which variables the machine learning model attaches great importance to, right? But like I said, we're not going to do this study either because we're now really satisfied with the final version of our model. So moving on, check it out. ChatGPT just ends with a short explanation. Well, great, right? You can read it if you want to. But basically, my friends, we have examined all of the answers that ChatGPT gave us from start to finish. So that means that we have come to the end of this, our particular lesson. We have had ChatGPT do all the data science steps by using a logistic regression algorithm. And this notebook has now become a ChatGPT product. So now I'm going to come here to the last line and open a cell in the markdown format and write good luck. Haha. All right, so I'm going to put a hashtag sign in the head section. Make it look a little better, my friends. All right. So we're going to wrap it up here. Good luck. Keep learning, keep writing, and have a good time doing it. See you next time.